The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back at The Local Show with Tom and Steve right here on 570 WSYR 106.9 FM. And Steve, what'd you think of that? Did you that last interview? You want to go out and get a horse now?
I want to see if there's any fish in the pond.
Yeah,
actually,
you can see that.
Horses are. I'm okay with horses,
big.
but they're. I had an experience. We were on down at Gettysburg, where you ride the battlefield on the horse.
Oh, okay.
My horse's name was Patriot. Well, Patriot got spooked. And took Stevie Boy for a little ride once. So
did it throw you off at all?
I held on. They were like, "Wow, how'd you do that?" I held on. The thing was like, boom!
Everybody was screaming, "Let go!"
Yeah. And I'm holding on. I went, and it finally just got tired and stopped. They came and they go, "Wow!" They were like, "You held on." So, but
you learned how to ride.
He's born for it.
I don't know. So I don't. Yeah, I don't know that I like dogs. Rather.
Well, yeah, their ponds does sound interesting.
Yeah,
I think you might be able to pull some fish out of that baby.
We're going to have to do an audit there.
Well, this is like the segment, we'll call this Beauty and the Beast. We had Kendra, the beauty, and now we have Neal Carr, the beast.
There you go. Yeah, whatever works.
Yeah. Neal Carr is with us right now, Vice President of Prime Heating and Air, and it's that time of year where people are like, do I turn it on? Do I not turn it on?
Yep.
And we're talking about the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's getting some cooler temperatures finally.
Yeah. I went out and got filters yesterday.
Good.
Because
job,
the wife.
Tom.
Yeah. Well, I had the same filter in there from the air conditioning. We hadn't been running the air conditioning, so it's just been kind of sitting idle.
Sure.
It was that I call it the dead zone, where there's no, you're not using heat or air. And but I got to thinking, I knew I was going to be interviewing you today, and I wanted to ask you, what are the best filters? People they get confused when they go to the big box stores and they see a 2-pack, a 3-pack, one for $25 and then another one for $30. What's the difference?
Well, it's all personal preference.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Come on.
Obviously, the higher rated filters that are going to stop more need to be changed more often. So that's the confusion people get into, I think, is, I buy the top of the line. And sometimes the packages say you can leave them in for however long, right? But you got to keep an eye on them. Obviously, the more they're stopping, the more they would have to get changed.
Makes sense, because they're going to get clogged up quicker.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly that. So, and it's all environment too, right? Mm-hmm. Do you have dogs? Do you have cats? Do you have pets? Do you have, are you rural? Are the windows open in the spring? Or all that kind of stuff. So it all just depends on how much or how pollutant it is, obviously, the air and that whatnot. So we recommend checking them every 45, 60 days and change as needed. Yeah. If it looks like it should be changed, give it a change.
Would you say that most of the filters sold at the big box stores are good filters?
Yeah, I think they're decent. Yeah, a nice pleated filter, a MERV 8 or a MERV 9, something like MERV, that's the rating. You get above that, and then those are the ones that you really got to be checking maybe every 30 days and changing them depending on that. But yeah, a nice pleated filter and you're in good shape.
Do you sell at Prime Heating and Air the other types of filtration systems? The what am I word I'm looking at?
Like air filtration,
air filtration,
whole house filtration. Out, we can get those. Yeah, we install those. All those types of things. I always refer people to the units,
manufacturer,
the units website.
Okay.
Usually they'll all have their science on there. This is why we're saying it does this for you. I'm not that guy, so I'm trusting what the manufacturer saying is doing too. So I always, people are like, does it work? I'm like, well, let me point you over here and you can make your decision. Because
some people will tell me that they have those units installed and they get less colds and flus and things like that.
Yep. So like I said, a lot of them it's dealing with the pollen in the air, or the little floaty things in the air. As your system's working, it's there's antiviral, that kind of thing. So Yeah, I mean, I always, like I said, I always give a couple people a couple different options, and then point them to the website. Like, hey, here's all their research. This is why they're claiming it does that. This is what this is why I'm recommending this. And then take a look and see for yourself what you think.
What's the rule in a family of when you finally turn the furnace on? Is there like a standard here?
Nope.
Because I fight it.
Yep. It was for me. It was when I woke up the other morning. It was 59 in the house. That's when I turned it on.
So you crossed the line.
Yeah,
Okay,
I did. Finally.
No, that is.
That was a little too chilly for me. So I waited till then. So I've had it sit at about 63 since. So.
Well, I like to take a nice shower at least once a week.
Yeah. Oh, that's good time. Makes you nicer to be around again.
Yeah. When I take that shower, I want to make sure that it's warm in the morning.
Before I take the shower. Exactly. Right.
So prepping. So it is holy my goodness, here it comes.
It's coming. Yeah.
It's coming. Someone should take some preemptive action here, I would imagine, right?
If you're one of those ones that have held out so far, turn it on. Get it on, let it run, make sure everything's good.
But if you're hearing sounds,
the other day when it was a cold, one of the first cold mornings, and we were just
frost.
Everything was. I just turned my furnace on for the first time, and it's not coming on.
So you got a bunch of that.
Yeah. So get it on. Even if
I'm smelling. You get a lot of people. I'm smelling something.
Yeah, a lot of that is usually just dust getting burned off, and for the first time, but. No, get it turned on. Even if you're not going to keep it on or you're not going to set it real high, just turn it on. Make sure it comes on. Make sure everything's working right. And then if it's been a while or if you haven't had some maintenance done to it, give us a call. Let's get some maintenance done. Check your filter. Change your filter. Make sure you're good for the heating system. But yeah, other than that, it's really that's pretty much all you got to do.
In the event that somebody turns things on and they're not working well. How fast can you respond? And if they need a complete furnace install, can you give us some ballpark pricing?
Yeah, so it depends. So as of right now, I mean, we're probably a few weeks out. So on installs, So if you're looking, hey, I'm thinking of getting a quote, or I'd like to do something. Obviously, if it's if we're talking dead of winter and it's an emergency type situation,
you can do it quicker.
We make every effort to.
Yes.
Yeah, obviously. But as of right now, if it's just like, hey, I'm thinking about doing it, come give me a quote. It would probably be 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah.
Well, I hate to be Debbie Downer here, but National Grid announced a huge, was it 30% here a month or two? They said it's coming
again this year. Yeah,
and
last couple of years.
But if I have if my furnace is 15 years old and it's working great, should I do something or?
I mean, it depends, right? So, or do you run it? See how much of an increase are you seeing for over last year versus laying out a bunch of money right up front to do a furnace, which I understand is a lot of money, So it really just depends. If you've been thinking about it, you've been putting money away, and you're like, hey, I've been working towards this. Maybe now is the right time. But for me to say just because it's older, you got to do it, not necessarily.
So it's like a car. You know what? You might keep it and drive it into the ground, or you might go.
I give that person that same analogy all the time.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, I do. As I tell them. If it's working fine, you can ride it out. Once the little repairs, service calls start happening 2 or 3 times a year, now that's when you begin to think, okay, would it be worth it to do the replacement?
Well, primeheatandair.com, the website, 802-4287. If they want to get hey, let's take a look or let's get a checkup. Let's get ahead of things. 802-4287. You might end up talking to Neal Carr, the vice president.
You might.
A very powerful man, Tom.
Very good chance. If you call during business hours, you will.
There we go. Primeheatandair.com. Always love having you, Neal.
Yes, guys. Great to see you again. Thank you.